You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Love is Blind recap edition / freestyle / whatever we want to talk about. With our special guest today, Violet Benson returns, who I think you were the second guest I ever had.
Wow, really?
I think so.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, well, I'm excited
And
to
this
return.
episode is what?
560.
Whatever the fuck.
7?
Yeah. What's new?
Wow, so much. So I just finished freezing my eggs.
Woo!
Does that deserve like a round of applause or something?
I
don't know.
think so.
That, I mean, it was...
Who recently did that? We had
Oh, it was Rosie. Well, I
yes,
think Rosie was
Rosie.
getting ready to.
She was getting ready. You
Yes.
just had
Yeah.
the surgery.
Yeah, I just had the surgery a couple of days ago. So I will say it was 16 days of just injections. I'm not scared of needles or anything like that. So I documented my whole progress. And I will say it felt very simple and easy to just go through. Injecting myself 4 times a day was like a breeze. And I didn't get bloated, nothing. Actually, even lost weight during the time of doing it.
Is that like not...
It's the opposite because you get bloated. But
Okay.
I was like so nauseous from the injections, I just couldn't eat. Then I had the surgery, and because I apparently have something called PCOS, I have so many eggs. Not all of them will be mature, but I was so fertile that I had over 40 follicles inside and then 28 mature eggs, which means there was so much inside of me to scrape out that after surgery, that's when other women normally they're finally fine, and that's when I was suffering. Like for 2 days, I couldn't walk or sit.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now?
This is the first time I finally walked outside my house.
We brought her in a wheel.
Yeah.
We're honored that you braved the...
Yeah.
Well,
So, yeah, I'm just
well,
happy it's over.
we're glad to have you. Well, I have a lot to get into. Before we do Love is Blind, do we have any? Is there any Bachelor?
So
activity?
something that I just think is topical because you love to talk about the relationship between Hannah Brown and her
Ooh.
sister-in-law Haley Brown.
Is there an update?
Well, they all spent Easter together, and I thought it was interesting because they both posted for Easter, but they posted a little different photos.
Do you watch The Bachelor?
Not anymore.
Are you familiar with Hannah Brown?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Hannah Brown.
Okay.
So this was...
you say that like you know Hannah Brown?
No, I don't know Hannah Brown.
Okay. Well, a little backstory. Her now sister-in-law is what, the ex of
her
ex-fiancés.
ex-fiancé.
So the guy she got engaged to on The Bachelor,
Jed was
There was-
dating Haley.
while he was falling in love with Hannah.
Yeah.
So it was a big conspiracy.
Scandy.
Yeah, scandal.
Whoa.
And then they broke up, and then
The
Hannah-
same girl, Haley, is now married to Hannah Brown's brother.
and they don't follow each other on the gram.
They do not follow each other on Instagram at all. And
And
I thought it
I'm-
was interesting.
I'm obsessed with the story.
Yeah.
See, you are too now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
So Haley posts this on her story
Uh-huh.
yesterday.
Haley,
Full families.
Okay.
Here's Haley and the brother.
all right. That
Mama
Haley's
and
on
Papa
the left.
Brown. Yeah.
Okay.
Hannah
Hannah and her boyfriend.
And her boyfriend.
Okay.
Great family photo.
Mhm.
You want to see what Hannah posted? Just the 4.
Oh,
Just the 4 of them. There is no
Wow.
sister to be seen.
She hates her.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that the brother or
That's
the...
her
That's her
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
That's
So
her
she
boyfriend.
Okay.
axed
Hot.
the brother and the
So
girlfriend.
they did
out
the
of
family photo, and Hannah's like, I just want to get one with me and the like.
And mom and dad.
Mom and dad,
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
she opted to post that one.
Yep. I
That's
just thought that was a
so
little
awkward.
funny.
But I will say, for Hannah's sake, she does look better.
The
in
lighting.
Yeah, everything. I mean, her hair is
That's
the
true.
wind
It is
in
a
her
better
hair,
photo.
so it could
I mean-
potentially be because she looks better.
I'm team Hannah Brown on this one. I would. I mean, eventually she might have to just like accept the fact that it's her sister-in-law.
At this point, they're married. They've gone through the whole wedding. They still
You-
don't follow each
You
other.
might have to come around, Hannah.
When would the follow happen? If it hasn't happened yet, when would it happen?
when they have kids, because she wants auntie
Oh.
content.
Maybe.
That's when I think if not now, when. That's my answer to that question. But I don't know that is coming.
I bet kids are probably around the corner.
Probably.
We'll have to
I
see.
mean, like,
Do you think
the
Hannah
South?
Brown is in the running for godmother?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Who knows?
I love messy family stuff.
So no follow.
No follow. I checked both of them. They both follow you. So there you go.
Oh,
You're the great equalizer.
Yeah.
You should mediate them.
I
Do a
wouldn't-
close
I
friend
would not have
story that's
guessed that
just
one.
the two of them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, genius. Wait, yeah, do that. Only have the two of them on your close friends and then be like, ladies, If you
Enough
see
is
this,
enough.
come on the show.
Should I do that?
Yeah, I think it'd be funny. Just them and Harry Styles as a close friends list.
I don't really post to close friends. Will that push my story to the top of like their, if you follow like
Oh,
1,000
right.
people?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. I feel like I see a little green circle first, usually.
Yeah, if I see someone putting me in close friends, I feel so honored. I actually end up watching the story.
But is it usually like an
So-
actual like
so I do a
tea,
close
or is- 'cause
friend.
I feel like it's usually just parties.
A video message, close friend, speaking directly to Hannah and Haley,
Yes.
inviting them on the podcast
Yes.
to talk about
Yeah,
the family dynamic.
Yeah.
yeah.
What if they both don't respond?
They're definitely not going to respond.
We have no hopes of that.
Because it's not even like you're DMing them. It's just a story for close friends.
They watched it on mute, so they
Yeah.
actually had no idea what.
Yeah.
You have to make it a multi-parter so we can see if they actually watch both or if it was like
You're
an immediate
wait,
swipe.
Stop what you're doing. Haley, Hannah, hear me out.
And I'll put Harry Styles in the
Yeah.
close friends.
Does
just-
Harry
yeah.
Styles follow you?
No.
Oh, okay.
But maybe if he's lurking. He did start a DM group chat with him
No
to
way.
talk about Love is
I
Blind.
started a DM.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on a
Did he
with it.
respond?
No.
Oh, he follows daddy issues. We've talked in the DMs before,
Ooh.
Really?
in a friendly way, obviously.
flex.
That's amazing.
Sorry, Nick.
That's pretty cool. That
That's-
is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
I love that. That's my flex.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about?
Um.
Could you read the message?
No, I don't watch. We talked about because I randomly had a random dream about Harry. I didn't even realize I DM'd him because I was like mid dream, and I had a dream where I made a Game of Thrones joke and he didn't get it, and I was like, "What a loser!" So I had to break up with him. So I randomly
This is the dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mid dream, I DM him and I was like, "Hey, funny story. I just had a dream that we were dating, but then you didn't get my Game of Thrones joke, so I had to break up with you. LOL. That's all." Something like that. And then I like wake up and I see a DM back from Harry Styles, and I was just like, "Wait, did I actually DM this guy?" So then I look and he's like, "Haha, that's so funny. Yeah, that makes sense why we would divorce. Hope all is well. Hope you're good." Something like that. And I was like, "Are we friends? Did I miss something?" So that was really nice. Yeah.
That's the coolest thing anyone's ever said on the show.
That was pretty
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah, he's just like a really nice guy.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Violet can get you the in.
Could you?
I don't think so. I'm scared to ever DM him again. So what if he unfollows me? He's like,
Yeah,
"Fuck
you don't
this
want to.
girl."
Yeah.
So I was just like, that was enough for me. I was like, oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice person.
Hopefully, he doesn't unfollow you after hearing this story.
I don't think so. It doesn't give me that vibe. He could. Who knows? One time I posted something that I would be in DMs with this girl, Emma Roberts, and everything was fine between us. And then I randomly posted a meme that I thought was funny, but it had to do with her. And in my caption, I wrote, "LOL, I'm just kidding. You know I love you. I'm up. Don't unfollow me after this." And she did.
Immediate unfollow.
Immediate unfollow.
Pretty funny.
It was kind of
intense.
embarrassing. I was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. So then I felt embarrassed, so I changed my caption. So, because she
Did
actually
she follow you back?
No,
No, but it was
So-
at this point she unfollowed her, so it was this more you
Yeah,
just
she already did it.
well,
So
it's like
Yeah.
fuck
whatever.
it. Well,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I'm gonna start posting photos and then be like, "Don't unfollow me, Harry." People who never followed me to start with, and be like, "Go
Yeah.
check my
I'm
follower
just
list."
kidding, Taylor Swift. Don't unfollow me.
That's so funny.
All right, well, let's get into Love is Blind.
I love walking places. I'm always a fan of no
Amanda needs to be
cars.
walked.
I need to be walked
Every day.
daily. And so that means a few things. One, it means I need shoes that are comfortable because I want to be on my feet. And two, it means sometimes the shoes I wear do get a little bit dirty. Rothy's is a saving grace because not only are these shoes insanely comfortable, they are machine washable.
Oh, Allie just
I literally
showcasing-
just pulled one off my foot.
Nally and I were
Oh.
shopping yesterday on Melrose. They have an amazing Rothy's store right there, and just it's incredible because they have all their shoes like beautifully displayed, and it's incredible just the variety of flats and shoes that they have, both men's and women's. They have handbags as well. They're made out of recyclable plastic, which is like I almost feel like it's cool to say because of what they're doing for the environment.
Sustainability is so important, especially Earth Month. I think it is top of mind for people. And with Rothy's, their lightweight tote is made with approximately 618 grams of ocean-bound marine plastic. The shoes, the flat have about 11 plastic bottles. Really, environmentalism, all there.
Rothy's, if you haven't tried them yet, you are definitely missing out. It's incredible how amazing their flats are. They're incredibly comfortable. There's no break-in period. It feels like they're your most comfortable shoes you've ever worn as soon as you've put them on. Rothy's original slip-on sneaker won Best Slip-on Sneaker from Self Magazine's 2022 Sneaker Awards. They are machine washable. They look brand new every time you slip them on. So for style and sustainability, shop Rothy's. Get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/VIALL. That is ROTHYS.com/VIALL. Rothys.com/VIALL. Helix is the best mattress in the world. It truly is. I don't know. Like, I don't know how Helix does not have a monopoly on mattresses. I don't know how they have not put every mattress company out of business yet, because it is incredible how comfortable they are. I've had my Helix mattress for 2.5 years now. I love it. It's my best friend. It's so affordable, and you don't need a box spring. You can get it right away. You don't have to, like, back in the day when you'd go to a mattress store and they go through this whole like, well, we make our mattresses in-house and it takes like forever to get it. It's all super expensive because, well, we do all this love and blah, blah. No, ridiculous. A waste of time, a waste of money, and not as comfortable. Helix is incredible. One of the many great things about Helix is there's a mattress for everyone. Whether you're a side sleeper, stomach sleeper, back sleeper, you sleep hot, you sleep cold. Also, maybe if you are a big and tall person, they have mattresses for you. They have 14 unique mattresses for all kinds of people. You just go to their website, you take a quick quiz, one of those fun quizzes of how you sleep and things like that. I'm a bit of a side sleeper. Moonlight is the mattress I have. Get a Helix mattress. You won't regret it. I promise you it will be the best decision of your life. It's incredibly affordable as well. And plus, you get a 100-night trial. You could sleep on it for 100 nights, so don't even take my word for it. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. They have a 10 to 15-year warranty depending on the mattress. That's insane. Get your Helix mattress now. Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/VIALL. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. That's helixsleep.com/VIALL. Do you have any overall thoughts of the season before we get into 9, 10, and 11?
I mean, I have so many thoughts. I'd rather you just kind of start off with whatever.
Oh, okay.
You're the expert.
Okay.
But I did spend all my time in bed watching Love Island. Really just trying to...
You mean Love is Blind?
Yes, obviously. By the way, I'm obsessed with Love Island. That's why I said that. Sorry. I did spend my whole time in bed watching Love is Blind.
That's our next thing we got to tackle.
Yeah.
But it's so much. It's so much.
And it's also, I feel like there's so many customs and traditions. There's you got to learn a lot to
But the lingo is so funny. It's so good.
I got a
text. I'm just rafting right now.
I do think the British accent that is so requested of you, Allie, would be more welcome than ever.
I'll do it.
You can speak in a British accent this entire episode.
Well, that doesn't make sense contextually, but if we covered Love Island, sure.
Why does it have to make sense? Just demo it.
Okay. Episode 9.
Episode 9, 10 days until the wedding. We start with Jackie and Marshall. They're having a little fight.
I fucking told you they're going to end up together. She loves that cauliflower ear.
With Josh? Yeah. He
Yeah.
brought her
Josh.
roses.
Okay, I will say from the start with Jackie and Marshall, when they just moved into their place, when they just started to get together in Mexico to moving into their apartment, I said something's off with her because her emotions did not make sense and not align with the situations. And she was so high alert with emotions. I was like, oh, she loves the drama. Because I felt like she would create it and Marshall would just put up with it, which I thought was weird. I thought I was watching a telenovela and I'm like, did I miss a chapter? Where is this? It didn't make sense. Let's say there would be no ketchup and she'd be like, I can't do this right now. There's no ketchup. And you're like, whoa. So it just made sense that eventually she got this dramatic.
Well, so she did have one post on Instagram that kind of provided context. She posted this on March 27th.
Right.
Because she'd done an interview about how the fact that her father was sick. And so that was adding a lot of pressure. And her brother had just been released from prison. So she had a lot of people to take care of.
Am I the only one? It's just if there's something going in your family member sick or your dog sick, who was it on the
Rambo.
Rambo.
Oh.
You don't get to use it as an excuse if you showed up for the TV show.
Period. I agree. I thought the same
If it's
thing.
so bad that you need to be by your family member's side, you know, and like, listen, I understand. What does he have? He has cancer.
Yes, my
Stage
father
2.
at the time was fighting stage 2 head and neck cancer, had a feeding tube in his stomach, had the back of his tongue removed, and had
Sounds
11
terrible.
cancerous lymph nodes removed from his neck a few months before I filmed the show. I come home every weekend to make sure I pay his bills, clean the house, and make sure my father and mother are good. I felt guilty being happy and enjoying my time in Mexico because my family deserves time away. My mental breakdown in Mexico was all the emotions of being head of the house, having my family depending on me, and having the weight of my emotions and feelings all colliding at once. I will always take care of my father. Cancer will never take him from me.
Okay, she had like 12 mental breakdowns, and then what was? Did
But
she
why?
write an
But why, if it
explanation
was
for
so
each
bad,
one?
why did she come on the show?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like she made a mistake. Like she thought she could handle it, and then we're just watching like a choice that like should not have been made the way it was, and like the consequences of that.
You've been on The Bachelor more than once. Sorry.
Indeed.
You can leave anytime you want. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, you're not held hostage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if at any time you're like, this isn't good for my mental health, I need
they
to
could all-
leave.
yeah.
You can go.
She could have left at any moment.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I do think sometimes to play like devil's advocate, there's like the kind of not survivor's guilt, but like the guilt of somebody who is like healthy and well and who like must feel really pulled in a few different directions. Where on one hand, like, of course, like you love your family, you feel intensely guilty for not being there. On the other hand, like, you know, they want you to live your life to the fullest and to like take big opportunities.
But like, why didn't she just say that on the show? Because clearly it's not like it's private information. She has no problem sharing it now.
Yeah.
And their fights were about the fact that he wouldn't hit her during sex.
Yeah. She's
was
like, you
there. It
don't choke
wasn't-
me enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and also I totally hear you. And I was the first one to be like, she's going through it and look how sweet he is to her in Mexico. But her not showing up for wedding dress shopping and not even having the decency to tell him and making Brett deliver the news to him as he's like shopping for his tux.
So fucked.
That's
She
poor
said
boy.
that editing lied and that she didn't actually go see Josh at the same time. That she's like, oh my God, check what I'm wearing. I was wearing something different. It wasn't the same day.
Yeah, but
we
like,
broke up and then
hate-
I saw Josh.
I hate that shit because, of course, I'm sure there was editing, but to Allie's point, it wasn't edited that Marshall assumed that she would be at the dress
fitting.
Mhm.
dress fitting while
Sure.
Marshall was at his, and having to find out through Brad.
Yeah.
And regardless of where when she went on the date with Josh, when they broke up, like she said to Marshall, I had already met Josh. She admitted to Marshall that she had a rendezvous with Josh prior to the breakup. So like, sure, it wasn't at the exact same time. Yeah, editing makes it look like it was simultaneously while he was at the dress fitting, she was having a date with Marshall. That's not why she looks like
Right.
an asshole.
Right. It's because she didn't communicate about it. Like she would have been fully covered had she explained where she was coming from, like, or have we gotten any kind of like context for her not being at the fitting that was communicated to her partner. But because
Mhm.
she didn't ever talk to Marshall about it, like,
She just completely changed from who she was in the beginning to the minute she left the pause. It felt like day and night. And somebody who's really into psychology in general, I was trying to better understand what happened to her personality. And I think it's also based on their attachment styles, like looking at how she was drawn to Josh. He's a little toxic. That's what the relationship she's used to. She kept saying that to Marshall. Marshall's used to fixing people because he accidentally blurred out saying something like, you look like a project and you have potential and I could fix you. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, you also should work on yourself because you're still attracting the same partner over and over again. That's why he attracted someone like Jackie, because he was hoping that this time the outcome will be different. This time he'll be able to fix this person versus going inside of himself and being like, why am I still chasing these people who will never stay?
totally. And it's
Mhm.
also, and I think it's like also a place of when you date somebody who you know you have to fix, you don't have to feel as vulnerable in yourself
Right.
about your own. Like you can kind of, it's a way of almost cheating, falling in love with someone or falling fully because you've created this situation where you perceive yourself to have full control. And where if it doesn't, like if it goes wrong, it's because you picked someone who you knew it might go wrong with, as opposed to like you having the chance to do that yourself.
And you're also the hero and they depend on you. And love feels so great when someone needs you. That feels amazing. But these people, they're broken a little. They never stay. You can't fix them if they don't want to be fixed.
What did you guys think about their like final conversation about the rings and everything? Because she also posted about that.
Wait, what did she say about the ring?
Okay.
I also think that whole conversation is kind of stupid because I'm assuming, I don't know how they do it on Love is Blind, but I'm assuming the ring is provided.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that there are some sort of contractual obligations when it comes to the ring. That if they simply getting engaged for 2 weeks, they don't get to keep a ring. So they were both fighting over a ring that neither of them were going to be able to keep. Like, for example, on The Bachelor, you have to, I believe it's be together for 2 years. If you stay together for 2 years, if you break up after 2 years, you get to keep the ring. If you break up prior to 2 years, you have to give it back.
Oh, like a little prenup.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Bit, yeah. And so certainly, these two were engaged for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So like, I just don't understand why.
I think they didn't know, I would say. I don't think maybe they didn't read the fine print, but Jackie was like, I'm going to pawn this off. I'm going to sell this.
I think it was just, I think to your
Literally.
point, it was almost like it encapsulated both of their deficiencies. Again, Marshall he means really well and really wants to be a great guy. And I'm sure someday will be a great partner. But I do think he has some growing and maturing to do and some self-reflection on, not trying to come across as great and just be great, and being willing to let things go, so to speak. And so I think his pride was really hurt. And so he wanted the ring back, and that was his way of standing up for himself, so to speak.
That was his Hannah Brown pedestal moment.
Yeah.
Is what he wanted.
And
it
then
to
Jackie was, toxic Jackie, just being like, no, you gave it to me. It's mine. What did she said some shit over like, well, when I
accept. It was something along the lines of like, when I accepted this proposal, I thought it was going to be a thing, so I deserved the ring.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. When I took this ring, I actually was interested in you, even though I'm not anymore. When I took it, I was. So
If
it's mine.
I got grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Is this a hot take? But if in a heterosexual relationship, forget it, in any relationship, whoever presents the engagement ring, whoever invests money in the engagement ring, if you receive that gift and you end the relationship, if you don't give that ring back, you suck. You're a shitty person.
Unless you got cheated on and you put up with the lie and you're like, you know what, at this point I'm keeping
unless
the
you
ring.
got cheated
Yeah.
on, sure.
Yeah.
If you break up with them because of infidelity, yeah.
Or if they
Then
leave
you sell that ring and you go to Mexico.
If they are like, goodbye, peace
But I'm
out,
saying
leaving
your
you forever.
feelings changed and you break up with them, or you like someone else, or you move on, not because like they were toxic. I don't mean like you wanted to be in this relationship and they gave you no choice to break up with you. I mean like you decided to leave because your feelings changed somehow, then you suck.
I agree, but I do think that everyone has a different reality. So though our reality is that something's off with Jackie and she's in the wrong, to make herself feel better, I'm sure to justify her action, she was just like, well, he made me feel this way and blah, blah, blah. And I felt this way in the beginning. So it makes sense. And that's why I should keep the ring.
Oh,
so
I don't
her
think
reality,
Jackie
like,
thinks
I
she
deserve the
sucks.
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
no, yeah, I'm sure.
Especially-
I'm sure in Jackie's reality, she doesn't suck, but
Yeah.
I'm here to say she does.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
right.
it's like kind of a reflection of how good a person you are, to the extent that you can contextualize your reality and know that there's other stuff going on. Because I imagine if you are dealing with this really overwhelming family ailment situation, it's very easy for you to continually validate yourself as being like, but I'm just overwhelmed. And I'm not saying she's right for doing that at all. And like, because at the very end, she says, maybe I need to work on myself. Like she says that in an ITM after she's broken up. And it's like kind of a throwaway line. But I think that is hopefully the thesis of this breakup is she needs to work on herself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked at her TikTok and I didn't get that vibe.
I love it when she says, she's still saying, I don't know if I'm going to be with Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Is that her saying that in real time?
Well, so this was
Or
kind
that
of
she said
what
that?
Violet was saying. It's her claiming that it was aired out of order and this didn't happen. She says, Marshall and I were broken up before I saw Josh at the coffee shop. But to your point, Nick, she literally mentioned seeing Josh in this conversation. So that's confusing. I'm wearing different clothes. My hair is styled different. And at the end of the video, I say, I don't know if I'm going to be with Josh. I am not sure what the reason is for playing the coffee shop date before the breakup. But to restate, Marshall and I were broken up before Josh and I had our coffee shop date. Interesting, though. She's saying they were broken up before the coffee shop date. She's not saying they were broken up before she saw him. They could have saw each other off camera.
Either way, when she broke up with Marshall, she told Marshall that she met up with Josh.
Yeah.
Was she talking about the birthday party though, where they first met
No.
each other?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't make sense.
No, yeah, it doesn't.
Also, keep in mind, these people all live in the same city.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's nothing stopping. And when she met up with Josh, that's an on-camera event. Obviously, they're being filmed. That was staged. It's set up. These two could be, like, fucking...
Sexting.
There is nothing stopping these two from, like, just... They could have been fucking all night, and then got ready to be like, hey, we got a scene to make today. And then he went and bought flowers. I mean, I don't know if that happened, but like, so maybe when she said that, regardless of what we saw or when it was aired and the timing, she literally said that she had seen Marshall before. So she might be talking about this scene being filmed post breakup, which might be true. And maybe if she's asking, I don't know why the show showed it out of order, probably because while they're filming it, they're like, this fucking chick says she met up with Josh before the breakup. So while we don't have that on camera, we have this, and it plays to what she said to be true.
Right.
So,
or her reality of what she thought was a breakup. Because again, now that based on what you said, it doesn't align when they're in the house having the argument. She says, I went and saw Josh. When she saw Josh was post breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe in her mind, when he left the house for 2-3 days because he wouldn't hit her while they were banging, like that was a breakup for her. You know?
Yeah.
all jokes aside, like, you're not man enough. I want you to be more aggressive. Like, what a emasculating thing to say on camera. Listen, like, I think it's fun to, like, in bed with your partner to be kinky and push boundaries and have your safe words and shit. But she didn't say that to be constructive. She said that to hurt him.
Yeah.
You know, because she could have said, hey, like, babe, just like,
I think it's so hot when you lean
Yeah,
into this side
yeah.
of you, whatever
Exactly.
She
else.
also
right?
didn't have
Like-
to tell America. She could have done that in private.
It's not the first time that someone kind of shames someone else
no.
in the bedroom on
Mhm.
Love is Blind.
It's a good point where there's maybe something about the nature of the show where because it's baked in that like they fall in love and then they have this physical connection, like maybe they feel more entitled to talk about certain things that
Yeah.
like most people would be like, this is very private. I'm not going to share this.
Or they just know things are gonna go viral. Like sometimes when I see some of these comments on reality shows in general, in my brain I'm like, do they think this part is gonna go viral? And that's why they said what they said.
Yeah.
Because I just watched the last season forever ago, obviously. In the last season 3, it was the same thing where this girl left the guy on the altar, the guy with the blue eyes that was really attractive, and she left him.
Zenab and Cole.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Zenab, and she gave a whole speech, and I watched it right before I came here, and I was like, whoa, she could have literally said this in private.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was definitely trying to.
But so
Bury
Jackie's
him.
friend allegedly leaked a group text between Jackie and her friends at the time she broke up
A
with
very good
Marshall
friend.
to be Josh. And apparently her text said, quote, he gives me vibes, y'all, and I kind of hinted at that in my interview and all hell broke loose, so I had to switch it up. But he for sure gives me vibes because he used to twerk on the bed, and I told him...
Now, when she says gives me vibes, it sounds like she is suggesting that he's gay. I think there's some homophobic.
He used to
Oh
twerk
my
on the bed.
god,
And he was
what
like, yeah.
year is this?
So now I told
Yeah.
him to be more aggressive with me. He's hard, but sometimes he can be sweet. One friend allegedly texted back, twerk on the bed, LMFAO, Jackie, good for you also for communicating how bad of a turnoff that shit is. What the hell? Jackie allegedly texted
I'm sure
back.
he was like fucking around. Like, I doubt Marshall put on some sort of like striptease song and said, hey, babe, I want to perform for you. Like,
Correct.
that's how she's writing it.
She's acting like Marshall was like the burlesque dancer at the boys'
Yeah.
bachelor party.
Yeah, like snapping his gloves.
You know, this is probably right after she's like, I want you to be more goofy. I want you to be more playful.
Yeah.
Then he goes
yeah.
and twerks and she's like, ew, ick.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like texting it to her friend while he's doing it.
Totally.
It's like, oh my god, babe, look at this. That's so mean. And I think I saw on TikTok also people surfacing the video where when they all met each other in Mexico, and she said one of the guys was kind of hot. I forget who. Do you know who I'm talking
Was it
about?
Brett, maybe?
Maybe Brett. And she's like, oh damn, Brett's kind of fine. And then
Yeah.
Marshall, to be nice, because he goes, what? And then she goes, oh, he's kind of fine. And he's like, yeah, babe, I told you. Like, I
Mhm.
would understand, because I would do the same thing, because it's uncomfortable and inappropriate that my partner is saying another person's good looking. So to kind of pretend that it's not hurting my feelings, I'd be like, yeah, I told you that. Like, that, not because
Totally.
I love eating vagina. I'm just trying to be a cool partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it'll be firework. I'm obviously curious to see what happens at the finale, and we'll see. Excited about the possibility of having a few of these people on the show next week.
Oh, that's
I
exciting.
don't want to spoil anything.
Do you think she's still friends with this person who's leaking these texts? That's not a friend.
Not a good friend.
It kind of would make sense as Jackie's friend based on who she is.
Kind of like with Micah and Shelby.
I was just going to say some bad friends out here. Like, should we get to speaking
Micah
of bad
and Shelby?
friends?
Yeah.
Babbel, with 10 minutes a day, you can be speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Incredible. Babbel, truly an incredible invention. Is it an invention? I guess it's an app. It's an easy-to-use app for people who want to be bilingual. Babbel has 14 different languages that you can choose to learn. German, Spanish, Italian, French. The list goes on. And the best part is maybe you don't think, oh, I don't need to learn a new language. Fine, but you're probably going to travel. There's a lot of people who are speaking Spanish all over, even the United States. It's just nice to be able to speak a few words or sentences. If you travel to Mexico, we all love to go to Cancun and Cabo.
You have actual language speakers who are developing these courses. So it's not just textbook Spanish of what you might need to know from for a vocabulary quiz, but when you're interacting with people and meeting them and connecting with them, what are the kinds of things you want to say? Also, Babbel has speech recognition technology. So it means that it will adjust your pronunciation and accent, because I think that can be such a thing of learning a language, but not necessarily feeling confident speaking it. And so Babbel really keeps in mind the very reason that you are learning a language and crafts the entire setup around that.
They also have so many other offerings. They have podcast, games, video stories, and even live classes. So you can learn. I've done one of their live classes. It's literally like taking a live class with a real instructor who gives you notes and helps with punctuation. It's really cool. You have to try it now. And the best part is right now, you can get up to 55% off your subscription. I'll say it again, 55%. That's over half off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/VIALL. That's BABBEL.com/VIALL. Babbel.com/VIALL for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Talkify. Hey, daters out there. Are you sick of the apps? Are you sick of swiping left and right and matching with a bunch of people and connecting with a bunch of people who aren't dating with intention? Well, it's time for some matchmaking. That's right. Talkify is the country's #1 modern matchmaking service that is designed to help you achieve relationship success. You are going to be going out there and dating with other people who really want to find someone. They're willing to make the investment in themselves and the people they date. They are interested in compatibility as well as chemistry. They really want to, it's not hookup culture. With Talkify, their trusted compatibility specialists hand select successful and compelling candidates so you can date consciously and productively. Here's how it works. Talkify matchmakers meet you to learn about what you're looking for in a partner. Then they will select and screen potential match candidates for you, doing background checks, video interviews, and asking the tough questions that are too awkward for first dates. Love the background check, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Love a background check.
Because so much, especially as a woman who's doing online dating, security is always top of mind. And the fact that can kind of be taken out of the equation, so lovely.
Talkify is committed to finding your match. 80% of matched clients met their person within the first 12 matches. And right now, Talkify is offering our listeners 20% off when you become a client at Talkify.com/VIALL. That is TAWKIFY.com/VIALL for 20% off when you become a client. That's Talkify.com/VIALL.
That's so aggressive. The whole crying for your friend. I was this doesn't check out. This doesn't add up. The emotional level of crying for your friend. No, you deserve better. Okay, do you want to date her? Because at this point, I'm confused. Why are you so
She
in
might.
it?
She might.
She doesn't want her. She doesn't want to ruin the group.
That's the vibe I'm getting as well.
Yeah. Micah and her friend are in I think their party phase, in their going out phase, and they're she doesn't want her friend to get married.
Yeah, it really rubbed me the wrong way when the friends were meeting Paul, and one of the friends was kind of rude to to Micah's partner Paul, and then instead of Micah having Paul's back, because obviously they're entering a marriage soon, that's your other half, that's a partnership. Instead she said, well, you should care. I'm for fuck's sake, come on, I would be humiliated as the partner.
Totally.
Yeah. I didn't like that.
Yeah, it's
you
they're
should have
trying to
your
eat you
partner's back.
alive. It's so nerve-wracking to meet friends in that way.
Yeah.
Do we think that Paul and Micah are going to say yes? I
No.
feel so...
I think so.
They are. You do?
Yeah.
You really do. I think they have such friend energy Like
But
there
then
was a
they're the
point where
ones,
she goes,
like,
when they
obsessed
were,
with each other.
no, it's all fake. You don't, did you buy this? When they were saying goodbye to one another and they're like, she goes, okay, well, I love you. Like it seems so rehearsed, or like when you say it because you have to say it. Like
I'm a little
maybe not.
stupid.
You've all been in love. I don't, maybe,
know.
but like have you been excited? You've been excited
Yes,
about someone.
yes,
And
yes.
so Paul and Micah talk, so the words coming out of their mouth are, I'm excited, I'm in love, we have so much fun together, you're my best friend. The words are all what they should be saying, but how they say it and their body language,
delivery.
it doesn't fucking line up at all. When you're like, oh, babe, I love you. I cannot wait to see you. Not like, okay, well, I love you. You know, it's so, it comes across as, now I have to say this thing now. Not, I want to say this thing, and I can't help but say this thing, and I want to keep saying this thing. They only say it when they're in these ITMs, and it's just like, man, it's just more like, it's not like I can't fucking explain it. I just fucking love her, you know? Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, Paul's
you know,
a logical person.
I'm talking about Micah.
Right.
And Micah's not a logical person.
Right.
I want when Micah is in love, she is going to make no sense. It's going to just be oozing out of her, you know, so to speak. Not like awkwardly like, okay, well, I love you.
So do you think Micah is going to say no?
I don't know. I just,
Well, Paul, with his speech
well,
about,
they have that
based
one,
on the data I have, I would accrue great risk.
well, there's that one scene at the preview is this like Micah saying, I want you to go first to Paul.
Yeah.
Which, to me, if Micah says no after that,
That's fucked
that's
up.
fucked.
Mhm.
I think that might be just enough to get Paul to say no.
I will say I miss what everyone else is. I did look at TikTok and Twitter and everything, and so many people have their similar opinions to Nick about Micah and Paul, and I feel like I genuinely somehow missed that part because
You think they're
I
loved?
don't see it because I think they're great, but again, sometimes I want people to be happy, so I kind of just overlook a lot of the
Mhm.
red flags.
I think they're nice. I think they respect each other. I think they genuinely see good traits in each other. When they're saying nice things about each other, it's like how you would, it's like, hey, you know, like we're not together, we're not dating. You know
We're
what I'm
not?
saying?
What?
But
We spend so much together. time together
if
right
I
now.
was in an interview and someone says like, hey, it's like, tell me about Violet Benson, say some nice things. I could say nice things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I'd be like, oh, Violet, she's like really smart and boy, she's like motivated and she has this, you know, blah, 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 blah.
She
And
DMs Harry Styles.
yeah, she's like, oh my gosh, she's like hanging out with,
She loves psychology.
yeah, she loves psychology. And it's just like, she's really articulated and she built her business from the ground up, you know, like I sound like Micah talking about Paul
Right.
just because she's saying words, but like, it for me, it was that moment where it was like the next day and they're like, okay, well, goodbye. And they were just like, okay, is this where we say I love you? And they kind of like
Yeah.
looked around for cameras. Like, is it now? Like, that's the energy they're giving me.
They
Yeah.
give me the energy of like two college students who've just graduated and moved to the same city and are like clinging to each other instead of really getting settled in the city, because it feels like they have this kind of like codependent vibe of, I'm going to miss you. Like, I miss her so much. I wish you were here right
Mm.
now. And I
Yeah.
think they are genuinely building something, but I think it has probably like Micah to me seems like the girl who goes to Boyfriend Island and like renounces her citizenship to like other countries. And I say that as someone who was definitely like very guilty of that at times, of like, I think maybe part of the reason Shelby is so protective over her friend is because she's like, I don't see you for 6 months at a time when you have a fucking boyfriend. And so
Yeah,
I wonder
maybe.
if this
Yeah.
setting is just, even though they don't, there doesn't seem to
That's
be a
the
lot of
thing.
like
For all-
passion there.
For all the shit we're giving her friend is probably, in a way, we're definitely not giving her friend the benefit of the doubt, because the only other friend of Micah's that we are aware of is Irina. And,
Horrible character witness.
you know, not the best.
Not the
So,
best.
but maybe you're right. Maybe her friend's like, no, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, don't marry a person that you don't love, you know?
I will
It's you like,
say-
respect, fine, but
Yeah.
Tiffany, if I compare the relationship of Tiffany and Brett to Micah and Paul, then I definitely see your point of view where they have real love and a real connection, and just how they speak of each other. You can definitely know these two for sure going to say yes to one another, versus Micah and Paul. You're right. Compared to those two, it seems like college love that summer love that's going to fizzle
Yeah.
out.
Totally. Like, I feel like the rom-com starts when Micah breaks up with Paul in 3 years. Like, that's when we get, like, the interesting character arc.
I gotta say, lovely families, the families we've been able to meet, though.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just,
gosh.
like, really all around.
Well, that's the thing.
For the
If
ones that we've
Micah-
gotten to meet.
If Micah and Paul say no, Paul's mom's going to be devastated.
You mean Micah's twin?
Correct.
Yeah.
One and the same.
But that's how you know that's why I was like, oh, that makes sense that Paul's with Micah
Yeah.
because he's dating his
a
mom's
younger
twin.
version
Doesn't
of his
mean it's
mom.
okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we know why Jackie's with Josh. Doesn't mean it's okay.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But Brett's father and brother,
Oh,
At the
my
end,
God.
he
I
a-
wanted to sit
his
next
brother,
to him on the plane.
His brother asked the question that we all like wanted him to ask, which was like, no one wanted to comment on the beard and the hair. And at the end, he's like, "Do you like my haircut?" It was the
And
best.
Tiffany was so cute. She was like, of course, I want everyone to like look and feel like themselves.
And it seemed like Brett had given his brother shit for it and been like, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah,
like
like,
the
what are you
way
doing?
he asked Tiffany, it was like, "So what do you think of my haircut?"
Yeah.
Like, eat shit, Brett.
Yeah.
She likes
No,
it.
It was great. I mean, the family, his brother, his dad were lovely, just good people. I mean, Brett and Tiffany, like, I don't know, like, the
I love them.
Yeah, I can't think of anything bad. Definitely 10 out of 10, and they're definitely going to say yes to one another.
Yeah.
And we had this in this chunk of episodes, Tiffany getting overwhelmed and crying, where I feel like they've just been so flawless. Their love story has just felt so removed of speed bumps, but still so authentic. And it was cool to see like Tiffany kind of having a moment of overwhelm and
Yes.
breakdown and vulnerability. And Brett
But in a
continues
way
to
that
knock
made
it out of the park.
sense. Like
Sure.
her little
Yeah.
breakdown made sense.
If anything, it just further confirmed that they are normal and well-rounded people, because at some point, despite their love, you needed one of these people to like show a little bit of like, hey, we're getting fucking married. Because it's, regardless of how in love or how perfect they might be, this is an insane.
To do a
thing.
wedding in a week.
So it just showed some like level-headedness.
And then they discuss the financial stuff kind of in a joking way, but I really appreciate how they discuss it in the kitchen and how Brett decided right away when you can tell Tiffany was feeling uncomfortable in some sense. He was like, I don't mind if it's 50-50 or maybe 75% I take care of the bills. And they were making jokes about it, but I thought that was really sweet that he was reassuring her because she, I think, got nervous that she can't keep up with his lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
She's like, $1,200 luggage.
Brett.
Also, Brett, like, I don't know, I'm surprised I'm pointing this out, but like, I feel like Brett further confirmed that he truly is like a very secure, emotionally mature man, because when Tiffany was breaking down, that gave him an opportunity to be insecure and get defensive. And if nothing else, tried to fix the situation. He just listened. He just sat
Yeah.
there and soothed her. He did like what no guys fucking do.
Not a solution was pitched.
Nothing. He just sat there and just he just was there. And I wouldn't even say that about myself. I was just like, I'm like, wow, fuck, this is how you do it. Shit.
That's so
Exemplary.
funny. I didn't even think about that. I'm a solution person. So that would be something I would actually
I sat there and I was just fully expecting like Brett to be like, oh fuck, like, and trying to like explain to her why this is gonna be okay, or like what because like, and every guy does this. It's all well intentioned to like, oh hey, like this is why you shouldn't feel this way, and this is why it's gonna be okay, and like there's a time and a place for that. But in the moment, I've often, many times throughout my life, gotten plenty of notes that in that moment, like just shut the fuck up and
like rub my back.
just and just support me and just like acknowledge my frustration and just be there. And he did exactly that. Just a true 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Who else do you think is going to most likely say yes?
Well, this is a great segue into Kwame and Chelsea.
Oh boy.
Perfect.
Because
Sorry.
You mean Alex and Chelsea?
Also,
yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah?
I said in last week's episode that I was going to bet $50,000 that there's no way that Kwame would get married to Chelsea. And I feel like I might be prepared.
You're losing 50K.
in this bet I didn't make in this. But yeah, I mean, I would have.
I think if a different guy showed up at the wedding to marry Chelsea, she wouldn't notice because she's just ready to get married. And she would still say yes.
I think Chelsea's the ultimate pick me.
Aw, No, I think she's ready for love.
I think we have different definitions of pick me.
Right, actually.
Because I think in a certain frame of she just wants someone to choose her that is so important. She's so ready to
That's
just start
not a
that.
pick me?
I think pick me, the way I use it or know of it, is much more of someone who is kind of being a little inauthentic to themselves in a way of trying to be like the cool girl who's more desirable to men. So it's like, no, let's get wings and watch football. Like, I don't care. Or like, girls are so much drama. Like, that's
right.
That's true.
Like
Chelsea,
she would move in with him to where he lives if she was more of a pick me. Anything you want.
Yeah, I guess that's not. I mean, Chelsea is who she is. She seems to have a very unique and wonderful personality. But yeah, she doesn't seem to. But what do we call someone that, despite their partner seemingly looking like they hate them always, constantly, and has a way of like ignoring what seems to be right in your face and then spinning it into some delusional positive way?
That's marriage.
I think a lot of women have. I think a lot of people in general have been delusion. It's just when you love so much and you feel like you're ready for love. You don't care who's standing right in front of you. It's kind of like, I love you so much and they're not even there. Like one time when I was so ready to date, I was dating this guy and I kind of broke up with him, and then I changed my mind. I was like, I'm sorry. Can we start over? And he said, sure. And then that whole week I would text him like, oh my God, can't wait to see you again, blah, blah. And it took me a week to realize that guy was ghosting me. Like he wasn't even responding to me and I had no idea because I was just ready for us to date, that I would just get back to work and I'd be working. And then again, I'd be like, hope to see you soon. And then a week later, I'm like, I look at my text. I'm like, oh shit, it's just me texting the guy. Like he hasn't even responded to me.
I think if these two end up getting married, it is not for love, because like, I'm sorry, like, and I'm curious. I hope they address this at the reunion, because you cannot edit all of this. You can't edit his body language. He's just constantly annoyed, and I'm sure that Kwame's in his head. That would be understandable for him to be in his head and be like, I can't believe I'm doing this. But like, shouldn't that tell you that you shouldn't do this? Mm-hmm. You know, and then you got Chelsea just
force feeding you strawberries.
No matter what happens, she's just decided that she's going to marry Kwame.
Yeah.
It literally, he could do anything and she's just going to find a way to still marry Kwame because she decided way back when that he was perfect and nothing he could do could change that, which is nuts. I guess, I mean, if Kwame gets married to Chelsea, it's because I think it's for TV. I do.
Yeah. You know, she wrote her vows like years ago, and the vows can definitely match for anyone.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the fact that he was like, I will say something. I didn't write it down because I didn't know how I'd feel in the moment, but I'll tell you how I feel now. Like if someone did that to me,
uncle.
Oh my God. If someone did that to me at the altar, I would pick up my dress and take my honeymoon alone.
It was a pretty
Marissa would be like, let's go.
It was a pretty good speech though.
Yeah. And it's funny.
But it was a speech.
It's again, though, on paper. On paper, it's like, I didn't write down what I had to say because I knew that there will never be a time where I can't look you in the eye and tell you exactly why I love you. On paper, amazing. The way Kwame said it.
That's what I was, and then I got a bunch of people. I had a bunch of people in my DMs being like, you know, like, well, that speech kind of maybe changed my point of view. I'm like, I didn't change my point of view. Like anyone can give a speech. I want to see how you interact and how you look at her and how you know, like lovingly or not lovingly. He just looked fucking annoyed at her. Always.
Yeah.
Everything she did disgusted him.
Yeah.
And
it's weird.
I think he's just like, I think he just committed to marrying her, you know? And
they showed up to the boudoir shoot that's been her childhood dream.
Which is
and
so
The
weird.
first thing that he said was, maybe we can just start with what we have on. Maybe we can just wear our clothes.
Yeah, he's just like, you know, sure.
Did not want that.
She needs someone who's Zach level committed. Honestly, not Zach himself, but she is so vulnerable. The way she is so earnest and sentimental, it is so rare in reality TV. And it is sometimes really cringe for me. But I give her a lot of credit for like going all in and doing something that is so unappreciated or like just ripe for criticism in today's day and age of just being like really honest and eager and excited to do something. And again, not saying I am on the same page with like the areas that she's excited, but she's like unabashedly sentimental. And it's areas like that where you need a partner who's like ready to jump in with you and make you not feel stupid for wanting this.
If they do get married, it's because they both decided that they're going to do this regardless.
Right.
Chelsea, for delusion, of just really wanting to get married and just like, this is it, and I want this. And Kwame, because
He already said he was gonna do
he's
it.
gonna,
so
he
he's
told
like-
himself he's gonna do it, and he's committed to this.
Chelsea reminds me of those
get
TikToks
that
that I've
bag.
seen of that one girl that's the girl that is delusional, and she's like, and then like me and my boyfriend, like he got me a bunch of fries, and he was like, "Do you want ketchup with that?" And I was like, "The fact that I like ketchup with my fries, like you see me, like you
Yes.
see me."
That is
Like,
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
It's just like, he got me a robe when I got out of the shower, and it was the most romantic thing ever. And it's just like, well, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that was nice. Like, he got me water.
He could be a piece of shit for 5 years because he sorted her laundry once.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, So, do you guys think they're gonna say yes?
I think Kwame's in it for fame, and I think he knows that he'll get more Instagram followers if he says yes.
Ew.
But also, can we talk about his drunken rant of
I
he's
want-
like, he
I-
said, "Fuck Seattle. This is the Lamar Odom."
I kind
Oh
of
my
love that.
God,
I kind
that
of
was
love that.
funny.
That was great. That was great. And he's got a point because I've been to Seattle once. It was fine. It was fine. But like, I ain't paying New York prices. Like, there's
it's really expensive. I haven't been.
Seattle's really expensive.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up there with like San Francisco and New York because of,
Oh.
Microsoft and Amazon. Like, there's just so much wealth in that area.
But this is why we are supposed
it is
to do
nothing
what
special.
the show says they do, which is cast people in the same city. And here we got Micah in Arizona and Kwame in Portland.
They casted, I think, 3 people that are not from Seattle.
Now, is Micah,
She
like,
splits her time,
what is
she
that?
said. But it's,
what? Who
I'm
are
sorry,
you?
culturally, she is from Arizona.
I heard Micah works for Salesforce.
We
Yeah, I
discovered
told
that.
you
Is that you?
Well, no,
Yes.
that was last episode when
I
we
told
did
you
a
that.
LinkedIn dive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think Chelsea makes good money. I think Chelsea may make better money than Kwame.
Kwame?
Yeah.
Well, his apartment.
I have a technical question. Did you see how many clamps she had on her dress when she was trying it on? She needed that completely altered or in a different size,
I mean,
which is typical, and it takes months.
Oh my
How
God.
did she get that dress in less than a week?
TV show. Allie.
Right. Yeah.
I have
No,
so many
things
questions.
only take months when you're not willing to pay extra. For example, today I'm going to go to get these new jeans tailored, and I'm an impatient man. And usually, when you go to get them tailored, they're like, "That'll be a week." When I go to get a tailor, I say, "How much will it cost me to get these back later today?"
Whoa.
And eventually, they give me a price.
Everything has a price.
You gotta
everything
be
has a
careful.
price.
You're already 50K out from your bet.
Well,
Might need to do some penny pinching.
I'm just saying, like if you're willing to pay for it, you can get it done.
Okay, but one thing I think we are ignoring about the fact with Kwame is that his mom is against this. So I do think it seems that the way he was raised and he seems like a religious man as
Mhm.
well. I
No,
think
he's
that
not.
does.
His family is.
Oh, okay.
They were giving him shit about like
Yeah.
he hasn't been to church. And by the way, another wonderful family. His brother and sister just truly delightful. And it's amazing how you can see someone in a completely different light after seeing their family on reality TV.
1,000%.
Because like obviously there is the edit and maybe I just wouldn't make sense that they are. That's why I'm saying like I just don't think Kwame could be like, yeah, they were just or even Chelsea, because I could picture Chelsea at the reunion saying there were so many like wonderful moments that for whatever reason you guys didn't get to see, and that might be true, but these moments of Kwame just constantly rolling his eyes.
She would
At
say there
Chelsea.
were so many wonderful moments happening that you guys didn't get to see that were happening in my head.
Yeah,
Literally.
I think that's more.
Literally.
probably. I'm gonna guess that I think that if Kwame and Chelsea are together, and let's say they're still together at the reunion, whenever they do break up, I want to do the Chelsea interview
Mm.
because
I hope you do.
I imagine at some point Chelsea will wake up. And I want to know what she has to think about watching all this back. If you're Chelsea's dad, again, another sweet man. That moment when she's
Aw.
walking down the aisle and he was just like saying, you're going to be a great wife and all this. It's just so wonderful. Like if you're Chelsea's dad watching this shit back, how do you look at this and go, I don't think he loves you. Like this
Right.
is not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And not to mention, freaking the Micah and Kwame in the pool, and just like that's chemistry.
Literally.
And I'm not saying, and we know how I feel about chemistry. It's not the end all be all, but like it's definitely something you want in a marriage.
Especially when you've met each other 20 days ago.
Yeah.
And you probably still want that chemistry to be there.
You try to make it
Kwame
work.
seems like he accidentally bagged on accident a woman similar in some ways to his mother, while he's more attracted to women the opposite of his mother, which is Micah.
Maybe, yeah.
I did think that was one of his more redeeming moments. The explanation of my mom raised me. Like she is so important to me. When Chelsea would kind of push back or, ask some very valid questions about the altar they're about to stand at. And he would say, she raised me. She is important to me. But then he didn't follow through with that. And so it was hard because I was getting a glimpse of this moment where it's maybe this is the person who Chelsea can say, yes, he's such a good man. Like that's why I love him so much. And why I overlook all these things is because he has this like conviction or he has this respect or empathy or sensitivity, whatever it is how I was feeling when he started his speech. But then it seems like he doesn't actually follow through with it.
I think that's all it was. It was a
and
good
it's so
speech.
fleeting.
It was a good speech.
Wait, Kwame, have we actually met all of his best friends, or the people that are his roommen? Is that just people from the show?
Yeah,
no, I think they're his friends. I think those were his friends.
His friends showed up for The Bachelor. He did have to pull in a pod mate for the suit fitting.
I think I said this last season, but and I know they had the strippers or whatever, but
Singular. Uno.
Stripper. I want them to go big for this bachelorette party. I want them to put these people in truly tempting scenarios, not these bars where
that they've rented out.
They rented out that are empty and they have a room full of dudes with no energy and no vibe, and then they bring this one stripper. It's okay,
she's a burlesque
she's literally
dancer.
doing a burlesque, she's in a full dress.
No, I want them going to fucking Vegas, and I want a whole weekend of drugs and rock and roll, and I want them going to the clubs, and I want them to get fucking sauced. It wouldn't be that hard to get a 30-second clip of imagine Kwame, they're in Vegas, they're at a nightclub, and all the girls, and they're at a pool party, and then they see the cameras, and clearly they're going to get attention from people, so they have all these girls sign a waiver, to whatever, and all of a sudden Kwame's drinking, rubbing up on someone's leg and shit, and maybe doesn't even have sex with her, but how hard could it be to put these guys in far more tempting scenarios, or in the women?
I do agree with that especially because that's kind of what's going to happen for everyone after post show. The minute you gain followers and you are on TV, you are going to get more people in your DMs. So it is kind of a realistic thing to do that.
Yeah, they have these kind of really pathetic bachelor parties that make you want to go home at 10:30. All right, well, I guess got to be in bed by 10:30. I'm getting married tomorrow. It's really weak sauce. I want.
We need to do it the week before.
The week before.
Yeah.
And it's a Vegas trip or whatever. Yeah. And they're really thrown into,
Yeah, that would show people's true colors.
Mm-hmm. And then from a production standpoint, it can't be that hard to do.
No, I agree with you. I think they're probably scared of what would actually happen. There was no weddings the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, Brett wasn't gonna do shit. It was all because Kwame they would do some shots.
Zach would just be in the corner.
Yeah. Paul wouldn't do anything either.
Paul was wearing glasses.
Zach and Paul would be playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having a great time with it.
Doing a color me mine owl situation.
I mean, Paul's personality is definitely similar to mine, so I think that's why I like the guy. I'm also a very logical person, and my hobbies include things like that. So
yeah.
I think that's why I was, in a way, rooting for them.
No, I like Paul. He's a sweet soul, and I think he's got good character, and I don't think he would be. But, Kwame's charismatic, and he's a bit of a fuck boy, and he doesn't like Chelsea at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's convinced himself he loves Chelsea, but he doesn't like her. He hates her. He doesn't want to be around her. He doesn't want to spend time with her. He doesn't want to do anything with her.
Imagine marrying someone like that.
I know.
They have nothing in common.
Especially when she is someone who is she says it herself, I'm very extra, I'm very myself. So it's someone who's plugging their nose at your personality when you pride yourself on having so much of it and showing it so frequently. It's brutal.
If the only reason other than fame for Kwame, the only reason I can think of why he's saying yes is that it wouldn't shock me if Chelsea is an extremely generous lover.
Well, because she's also obsessed with him.
That's what I'm saying. I think she's just I think she looks athletic. I bet she's just kind of down for whatever, and she's probably really good in bed. And Kwame's just
I mean, the
that's
fact that
great.
he was I already have a running trail where I live, so I can't really give that up.
Oh, and he won't stop talking about it.
We haven't seen a moment. We haven't seen a single moment of Kwame looking like he likes or cares about Chelsea. all we have seen is just utter disdain from this man. So I'm just trying to figure out what it is that is going to make this guy say yes, which it seems like a lot of people, well, I don't know whether it's spoilers that they've seen or whatever, or just his speech. All signs are pointing to us being very surprised about Kwame and Chelsea.
I think he's going to say no. And if he says yes, the divorce is happening like within months because he cheated on her.
Oh.
I'm saying, like, if nothing else, Kwame is setting us up for a potentially slam dunk interview with Chelsea. And Chelsea deserves someone like all of us do to like that loves her and sees her and like
she's such a great partner.
She's willing to truly. That's the thing. She's willing to be an amazing partner to whoever loves her the way she wants to love someone, and it ain't Kwame. Just because like one speech after 3 weeks in front of an audience is not enough.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Like every week he whips out a guitar or like makes a toast.
Oh my God. That's how okay. I forgot about that part. That killed me when she's like, and then Kwame, he's just so talented. And when she said that, and then they play back him playing the guitar, and I'm like, bro, are we watching and listening to the same person? Like I was so I'm deaf in one ear, and I was wishing I was fully deaf when I listened to him play. I was like, I wish I was just fully deaf at this point.
No, she won't stop talking about how hot he is, how successful he is, how talented he is. Like, yeah, she's obsessed.
What do we think of Zach and Bliss? Because it was very, I think, insightful to see, first of all, Bliss's mom.
Sweet. Wonderful family.
A sweet soul. Like to see that kind of like raw emotion is so beautiful. And I do think, yeah, you're right. Love is Blind.
I'll be your mom.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
If my daughter chooses you.
I'll be your mom.
Aww.
So sweet.
Oh my God.
I know.
What do you think? Do you think they're gonna say yes?
Oh yeah.
I think they're gonna. I think Bliss.
I think they're
is
a
gonna
good
say
match
no.
too.
You think Bliss is gonna say
if
no?
If anyone says no, I think it'll be Bliss.
Yeah. If he says no, he can't.
He can't say
He's
no.
not allowed.
He can't.
He's already fucked up.
Okay, it's so silly, but I went on everyone's TikToks to kind of get a vibe, and Zach looks so different.
Oh my gosh,
than what he did on the show.
He does.
Gosh, yeah.
He does look like a man who had his heart broken.
Yes. That's why I think she's gonna say no.
Well, and did you
That's
see
true.
his video of him saying, "I never claimed that I wrote this song"?
Yes.
They cut out the part where he like credits the band and that he just changed around some lyrics. But even in that video where he's explaining that, I was like, "Whoa, Zachary, what happened?"
Alternate explanation.
Okay.
Love is Blind. Like Zach,
happy and comfortable.
Zach himself, funny guy. When him and Bliss met, and she made a joke about like, and he just like, surprise, I'm not good looking. Like Zach made a joke about that. I think Irina was far too harsh. I think Zach is a fine looking guy. I think he has a really unique face, but he's not Brad Pitt. Whatever. But what if love is really blind for Bliss, and she truly loves Zach's soul, and like as far as how he looks, she's like whatever about it, and then they get married, and as soon as they get married, Bliss is like, I think she grow a beard. He grew a beard. A lot of ladies like the beard. Natalie prefers the beard on me, but maybe she was like, no, just keep growing it, and she just wanted to like hide the face behind the beard. Maybe that's why.
Right, and then she's like, I think you should stop showering. I think you should stop brushing your hair. It just looks so much better, and that's why he looks that way.
He definitely has like depression hair and beard going on,
and a belly now.
Also, he does look like he gained a little.
It's not love weight, because love weight you still look like you want to brush your hair in the morning. Like his love weight is more somebody dumped me, and now I got rejected by 2 women.
Also, we didn't talk about Zach's painting that he commissioned. Zach has 2 white owls holding a samurai sword, and then he also has a samurai sword in his apartment, which is so.
This man LARPs. You know that
What's
to be
LARP?
true.
What's
live
LARP?
action role play. So it's like reenactments. It's kind of in the genre of like Dungeons and Dragons. I think maybe LARPing. I'm not super connected to the LARPing community, so maybe they can tell me if they.
Derek, what?
I just know it's always in parks.
Yes, it's like
parks.
it's like when you go to a park and you see people doing like a battle reenactment of like, but they're wizards and they have their
oh my
staff.
God, I would go to that.
Seems like they're having the time of their
Zach
life.
has a sword in his apartment, and then he commissioned some art and said, "I want 2 white owls fighting over a sword."
Well, you know how your fashion theory about men, that men at some point in their life freeze their fashion sense?
Yes.
I wonder if it's kind of similar with a certain kind of amusement or like nerd out, because it's some men, trains are the first one. Every young boy I've ever met has had a train phase, and a few people keep it. I feel like the swords is kind of like the next one.
We have people dropping off into
at
buckets.
each standpoint.
Yeah.
And I think space is a pretty high one that I found recently.
People drop off at.
Yeah.
Well, I think he may be a little stuck in his childhood because he probably didn't fully get to have a childhood. So I think that is part of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I didn't really have a good relationship with my father growing up. And my dad one time gave me a dragon, and then it just became my obsession. And I've collected dragons ever since, and I still do. You're like, sorry, I don't mean... You guys are like trying to gossip. Well, actually.
No, it's a good point, though, to add some humanity to it.
What do we think of Bliss's dad?
He's correct. He has a lot of good points.
If you're not doing what Bliss's dad did, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, his delivery might have been a little like off, but I always empathize with parents in these situations. Like, why does his dad have to put on this like good face, so to speak? Why can't he show up and have the body language of, this is fucked up, this is crazy? He ultimately said, hey, listen, like, you're an adult. And basically what he was saying is, do what you want, but like, don't pretend you're not making a crazy decision. You know, like I always say, like, if you want to be the exception to the rule, go ahead. Try to be the exception to the rule. Just don't pretend that you're not trying to be the exception to the rule. You know? Go nuts. Swing big. Do whatever you want, but don't be delusional and say this is normal. Don't act like there's not a huge risk that you're taking. Don't pretend that in 2 months that like everything could change. Don't say you know everything you need to know about about this person, because that's all bullshit. And that's what her dad was saying. Because, you know, and I loved how like the thing that doesn't track with Zach, what is a red flag, and Bliss picked up on it, is like Zach was like, well, I just decided I was going to do this, kind of like what we're saying, Kwame. And it's just like, well, are you marrying me because you love me, or are you marrying me because you decided you're going to do this?
I think
because Zach is giving this energy of, I'm often this pragmatic person who overthinks things, so I decided to do this experiment, and I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna get married to someone. So he fell in love with Irina, got engaged, and that didn't work out. So immediately pivoted to Bliss. Now I see what I don't see in Chelsea and Kwame, I do see in Zach and Bliss. I see a real connection. I see two people who have, in addition to chemistry, I don't even know if I even see so much chemistry, I see compatibility.
Totally.
I see two people who get each other, who respect each other, who like are on the same page, who can grow old and ugly together and still have a good time.
And speak the same language.
Yeah.
Like, they're both like reserved in a similar way. They're both like, their attention to detail comes out for both of them.
Right, but it does bother me a little that this is only because Irina was so repulsed by him. Like, if Irina was kind of down, he wouldn't be sitting there and being like, did I make a mistake? He would have went along with it. And because she didn't want him, he was like, well, like, he's made a comment saying, like, by the second day, I was done with her. No, you weren't. You were still there. You weren't done with her.
Like, if Irina pulled a Kwame, so to speak,
right,
and just said, all right, Zach's not my guy, but fame, whatever, I don't want to buy out, and she just faked it for a while, and she sold it a little better than she did with Zach, and was nice and played along and like even kissed him. I think you're right. There's a chance that Zach might have just kept going.
Because he had that narrative with her of, she's so amazing and people don't see it. People only see this like steely exterior, but I know who she really is and she's good. So he could excuse endless amounts of bad behavior by Irina.
I love how she makes me feel. The girl forgets his birthday.
Yeah.
Literally.
The other one makes some cupcakes and he was like, no, thank you. I need
Irina
this
had
one.
to literally say, you look like a cartoon character, and refuse to kiss him. She had to be truly terrible to him. There's definitely some red flags with Zach's decision-making tree, so to speak. But ironically, I do see the compatibility.
Zach and Chelsea should get together because they're both ready.
Yeah.
For anyone in front of them. Those two should walk down the aisle. They would be right for each other.
Zach would do a boudoir shoot with his sword.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know he would.
Yeah. He would show up passionately.
Sword,
Zach's down
he's
for
naked.
anything.
The sword is covering his dick. Like, Chelsea's behind him. Like,
It's like some mythical Game of Thrones theme.
And they do a couple where she's like almost cutting it off, and Zach's like, ooh. You know,
yeah, exactly. I think they would be good together.
I think that's something I do forget about this show, of the context of like, it is fucking exhausting being single, and how people are incentivized to hope this experiment pays off. Of like, these people are sick of fucking dating. Online dating is exhausting and tiring and makes so many people feel like defective and bored and disillusioned. And you show up in the situation where you might get a marriage out of it. Like, I think that's something that obviously we know that, but I forget it a lot when I think about their decision making on the TV show.
Yeah. And also, one thing, like, my friend Francesca's been on enough reality TV. She kind of told me how it's that feeling of knowing that other people on the outside are rooting for you and they're kind of putting you two together, that also in a weird way kind of hypes you up and makes you want your love story to work.
It's impossible not to wonder how you'll be received, or it's hard. It's impossible not to let the outside pressures impact your decision, even if you have every desire to be genuine with your decisions. Like, it's just, you at best, you don't know how to kind of know what percentage is which.
Yeah, like your love fairy tale gets to be on TV. Like, I can understand. For me, that's what I think of Chelsea. Just, whoa, this whole love fairy tale gets to be documented on TV. And I finally got the partner, like my prince. Like, you are my prince. And he's like, stop talking to me. She's like, he always says that. He's so funny like that.
He gets me.
Yeah, he gets me. We joke like that.
Like, literally, it was, what was it? The comment, I think it was with her family. And they were talking about the pink. And he goes, yeah, and you don't even drink coffee. So I guess you just got that to sit on there because it was pink, like her coffee maker. And she was
laughs.
like, oh my God, he knows me.
And I like, listen to this woman. She just went on a tirade a few episodes ago about how vulnerable it is to lean into pink decor because she felt like she couldn't say what she actually wanted in her relationship. Like, it might seem small to you, but she has made it a thing for herself. And as a partner, you need to listen.
I'm in.
Oh.
Would you want to make your wedding bands like?
Oh,
Blacksmith?
yeah.
Would you want to do that?
I think it was
shot.
cute.
Yeah. You know who does Zach?
They did not look
good.
Yeah, they didn't. No, they looked like two people who tried to make rings for the first time.
Yeah.
That's exactly how they looked. There's just no way that was the finished product.
Okay, I feel so lame because I feel like no one has mentioned this, and I feel embarrassed mentioning this because I don't want to be made fun of. But I did look up everyone's zodiac signs.
What did you learn?
Tell us more.
Okay, sorry, not to be lame.
You're not being lame. You're Some people listening to this are like, thank fucking God, someone's finally saying it.
All right, well, Tiffany is a Sag, Brett's a Scorpio.
What does that mean?
So, well, Scorpios, they're listeners, they're calm, and Sagittarius, Brett's
that makes sense.
Scorpio.
That tracks.
So kind of made sense how he's so calm and he's a listener, and he's a slow burner. It takes time for him to figure out, do I love this person, do I not? But then he's in it forever and he's loyal. And then Tiffany's a Sag. They can have their emotions and all that, and they love to be independent. So does a Scorpio. So in some ways, they can be a match. Micah and Paul. Micah is...
I love it.
I love it.
This is amazing.
Okay. Micah is a Pisces. Paul's a Libra. They're not supposed to be a match, but it's the most common match of Libra and Pisces for some reason, because in the beginning they seem similar, but they're actually complete opposites, and a lot of times in relationships end up not working out in the end because of how different they are. Like Libras, they're more free and they love freedom, and Pisces, they're more emotional and they just end up being a lot different. So a lot of times end up not working out, but it is very common for Pisces and Libras to get together. Chelsea and Kwame. Chelsea's a Taurus. Kwame's an Aries. So Aries, they are impulsive. So they make decisions, not thinking about it, and then they kind of try to get through it. Eventually, they get sick of it and they run. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out. Taurus, women, stubborn as hell, but very good women. My mom's a Taurus.
My mom's a Taurus.
So stubborn in the fact that Chelsea has decided, I'm going to do this no matter what.
And it's happening.
It's happening.
Sheer force of will. Gonna make it.
Yeah. So the Sag and the Scorpio and the Taurus and the Aries, again, not really meant to be compatible, but a lot of times quote unquote sibling zodiac signs end up dating because their other signs in their chart end up matching. Bliss, is she? Okay, I need to relook it up. I forgot the rest of those. Irina is a Scorpio, which is really humiliating and embarrassing for the rest of us Scorpio women. So we do not speak for her. We do not align with her in any type of way. As a Scorpio woman, we have nothing in common. And now let me look
Bliss
up the other
is a
one.
Libra, I think. She's born September 30th.
Okay, and what is that? I think he's an Aries.
Yes. April
Okay,
2nd.
so Bliss is a Libra and Zach is an Aries, which is actually they're opposite signs and they're one of the most compatible signs together.
Interesting.
So that kind of
Fitting.
makes sense. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
what's August 31st?
A Virgo.
How about Libras and Virgos? Are they compatible? This is just for me.
Yeah, totally.
They're not.
Yeah.
I don't really
Oh, well,
care.
Libra and Virgo, there's sibling zodiac signs. So again, they can be compatible even if the sun is not compatible, but then the way they love and the way they communicate and other things can be compatible.
Okay. Thank God.
So, yeah. And then Marshall
About ready to ask
is
for that ring back.
a Virgo and Jackie's a Capricorn. She does not act like a Capricorn in whatsoever because Capricorn women, they know what they want. They're very stern. They're all about business and work. And Virgo men, they tend to
Well,
be.
couldn't you say that Jackie does know what she wants, which is why she's acting out, because she knows she doesn't want Marshall.
Usually they don't move like that. The way she's moving is in a way that she needs therapy, not a boyfriend.
Sure, but like, regardless of your sign,
I guess you're right. She's very outspoken. I
Yeah.
would just think
I
of
mean,
her
like,
more. I thought she would be
a lot
a
of us
fire
need
sign.
therapy, right? Or a lot of
I
us
mean,
have
we all-
experienced trauma, and regardless of our sign, yeah, it might. That I suppose that could. I'm just
No.
saying, like when you talk about these characteristics, I could see you talking. I could see that tracking with Jackie. You know, like Jackie does seem like someone she knows what she wants, almost to a fault.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that she knows she doesn't want Marshall, she knows she wants someone like Josh, and like despite like the pressures of a show and having to try to make this work, like she tried to sabotage her and Marshall from the get. You know what I'm saying? So to me, she knew what she wanted as soon as she saw Marshall.
I guess you're right. That you are making a good point. I guess when I saw her, I thought she would be a fire sign, and then she ended up being a Capricorn, which is an earth sign. Earth signs usually are the calmest.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't track.
Yeah, like are
Yeah.
like supposed to be a little more grounded,
Yeah,
right?
they're grounded, and a Virgo and a Capricorn should be perfect together. But again, it's just zodiac signs. It doesn't mean everything. So obviously, don't you take these type
Still
of things
fun.
with a grain of salt.
So fun.
But it was fun. It was fun to kind of see their personalities and understand why they got together, supposedly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so predictions: Brett and Tiffany for sure.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna say no on Paul and Micah. Kwame and Chelsea. Also, I thought about this too. Is that this is I'm not a Love Is Blind historian, but this is the first proposal, and I feel like the first ones always say yes.
I think last season, the first proposal, they said no, didn't they?
No, I don't think so. I think it was who was it?
Brennan is the first to propose to Alexa.
They're still in love.
And they're a power couple,
Oh,
stable
okay.
power couple.
Yeah, that was the first one.
I love
Okay.
them.
So the fact that they were first, I think I'm gonna lose that $50,000 bet. I think Zach and Bliss, but I agree with you. If they don't, it's because Bliss says no. I mean, and she'd have every right to, and not because Zach's not amazing. But like just like
Their relationship might be better off if
their
it's
time-
like
yeah,
if she, because then it kind of evens the score a little bit. Where it's like, as much as I'm sure she is not trying to hold it over his head that he chose Irina originally and she wants to move on and be healthy, there's got to be a part of your ego that just like always remembers 1 to 0. And I could see like,
and there's another like, well, despite what SK did to Raven, at the time I thought what SK and Raven did seemed to be most pragmatic. It's just like why do we have to get married? Can't we just like date? Like, can't we just like see this through? Like that's a totally they don't act like it's an option on the show, but it's obviously an option.
especially if you want to plan a wedding. Like, I think part of the reason Tiffany was so stressed is because she's actually planning a wedding here. Like, she thinks she is going to marry this man in a real lifelong way, and she's worried about the bridesmaids' dresses because she actually wants her friends to be here versus like for other people, it's they might actually.
But it is crazy that they have to like they do the whole wedding and get the families there in the dress, and so like that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many yeses and how many nos?
I'm gonna say 1 no, Paul and Micah. I mean, I don't know.
That's the only no.
Yeah, they usually have more yeses than nos.
Really?
Yeah, don't they usually have like 1 no?
Sometimes too. I don't know. Bliss and Zach is what's on the fence for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think Bliss says no based on
Yeah.
Zach's TikTok.
Yeah.
He looks
Based
like
on
Joe
his
from
current
You.
state.
You're right about that.
Yeah. He's looking rough.
Mm.
Not in a good way. Not in a I love someone
and
rough.
the one thing I will point out is that
But he seems in good spirits though.
but that is him purposefully filming a video that he knows will be like reposted a bunch of times because he's addressing something, and that is still how he chose to look.
Don't you think Zach is the type of guy who would get off on growing a beard and growing his hair out and looking disheveled to throw people off? I think I could picture Zach being the type of
He would
guy.
play chess like that.
I think he's the type of guy who would like realize that fans love spoilers and try to figure this shit out. And I could picture Zach doing things to try to trick people.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He seems like that guy. He has that energy.
I hope they are together. Like, I genuinely root for them.
What if Jackie and Marshall end up saying yes?
Wild. She doesn't have a dress.
Yeah.
Maybe Josh and Jackie.
No, I don't see that. I don't think they end up dating. I think Jackie rejects Josh.
Didn't they say they're together?
Yeah,
together
They
now?
were spotted
Rumors.
out in March. Mhm.
What?
Like a month ago.
Yeah.
And like they've been done filming for a minute.
Yeah, because they shot this around the same time as season 3.
Wow.
They've just been
So, like,
releasing them slowly.
So if they're still hanging out, like that's something.
That's serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think yes from Tiffany and Brett. Micah and Paul, yes. Chelsea and Kwame, no. Bliss and Zach, no. Jackie and Marshall, no. Irina with anyone, no. And Amber, I forgot about her, so I don't
Amber's
know.
been
anything
Yeah,
about
she
her.
was really just relevant for that one Chelsea's birthday party.
Dead,
where she
gone, and
was
buried.
like, hello.
Oh,
And then no chemistry with Paul, like nothing.
huh.
Poor.
Amber would be good on The Bachelor.
Yeah,
Why?
she would be.
Why?
I feel like she would have a lot of those clips on TikTok. She'd probably say a lot of things that people would be like, huh?
But she's been married 3 times?
Oh.
Twice. This is going to
Twice.
be her third, I
This is gonna
think.
be a third.
I will say she has been very forgettable to me. So when I say Amber would be good, I actually don't remember much of what she's done or said. So maybe she
But we
wouldn't
like
be
those
good
hot
on The
takes.
Bachelor.
We
Got
like,
alone.
we like your hot takes.
Yeah, she from the hip.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Chelsea would be good on The Bachelorette.
No.
Okay. What do I know? I don't
Why
know
not?
She would
much.
just
I don't
throw
think any of these people
herself
would
head over heels.
Be
Chelsea gives me the same vibes of that other woman that was The Bachelorette, and everyone was
None of
really
the-
upset.
first of all, none of the guys are tall enough. There's that. They don't cast short kings.
They don't?
No.
Maybe with Mike Fleiss exiting the franchise, we'll see the rise of the
Finally
short
get
king.
some short kings.
Maybe.
All
But
5,
it's not
7
it's not
season
Love
of
is
The
Blind.
Bachelor.
They cast tall guys because they know that y'all are attracted to taller men in general, and if they're trying to get 2 people to fall in love in a short period of time, they want every advantage possible, so they might as well cast tall people.
My dad is 1 inch shorter than my mom, and they're still together.
My dad is a good inch shorter than my mom as well.
I bet if
Really?
you did a study
Wow.
of couples where heterosexual couples where the woman is taller than the man, I bet they have a much higher success rate.
Probably because that right off the bat it shows that there was probably not as superficial as maybe other relationships,
Well,
and
You know, my mom said, you know what they say about short men? What they lack in height, they make up in other places.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, my dad.
I'm
is,
not saying yeah. It's she's like my dad fucks.
my dad fucks.
All right, Violet, always great to be with you. Thank you for coming. Please let my audience know all the great things you're doing. Please plug your podcast and all the amazing, wonderful things that you continue to do.
Thank you. Almost sounds sarcastic. I can't.
Did it?
Okay. You guys can
You
find
do
me.
so many amazing things.
That
No.
sounded.
You guys can find me Violet Benson, my personal Instagram, also my podcast, Almost Adulting, on every Tuesday and Thursday. It's super fun, and it's for anyone interested in lifestyle or mental health. And then,
like relationships. You talk a lot about relationships.
sorry,
too.
you're right. Relationships and mental health. I have a lot of loads of solo episodes as well, where they kind of encourages women to love themselves before they love others and work on themselves. I love all that.
It's a fun show. I've been on it.
Yeah, Nick has been on it more than once. He's been great, fan favorite. Everyone loves him. I love to have him on. And I'm working on a book, but that's coming out in the end of the year, so it's no big
What's it
deal.
going to be about?
Just advice about mental health and how to get through in life with
Great.
parts that have to do connects to my life, just like healing your generational trauma and things like that.
Amazing.
Love it.
Wonderful.
Can't wait to read it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, well, thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget that we have Girl Boss Town back on Thursday, going deeper. We're going to get into all the Vanderpump drama. We'll probably do a lot of PR crisis intervention. You know, you got Taylor Swift just broke up with her boyfriend. We also have another amazing episode of Better Date Than Never this Thursday.
Sex toys.
We're talking sex toys and sex toy accidents.
Yeah, I think that's baked within. It
Yeah.
goes without saying. If it's Better Date Than Ever, we're going to hear some wild stories
It's
of
a lot of
some
fun.
misadventures.
Be sure to check that out. Don't forget, we have more updates on Viall Files Plus for all the Ask Nick update fans out there. We also have episodes of Better Date Than Never that if you don't get to listen to live, plus our pop culture extra, which was a lot of fun last week. We got into a lot more Vanderpump tea and more all the pop culture stuff we never get to. Be sure to check that out. It's a 7-day free trial. It's rated amazing. It's rated incredible. It's rated
Say it, Derek.
Certified fresh.
Certified fresh.
There we go.
There you go. So be sure to check that out. Just go to viallfiles.com to subscribe to Viall Files Plus. And the best part is you can listen to Viall Files Plus the same way you listen to the Viall Files, so it's super easy to consume. I promise you will love it. Make sure you check that out. Anything else I'm missing?
I don't think so. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.